Shell. Good.
Give him a bath because the kid is filthy. Heavens to Murgatroyd. Don't look over there. Look at me. My name's Michael. It's fall time. This 85-degree fall. I am loving it. With fall time in full swing, it made me think about fall time things. Mostly people going back to school. When I think about school, I think about school things and school projects and school supplies and school shopping and school clothes. Ultimately, with school things, I wanted to answer a question. Why did I always wait to put my school projects off until last minute? We think procrastination is this inherited or learned trait of putting things off until the last minute. Webster's defines procrastination by to put off intentionally doing something that should be done. Over the last 5 years of introspective learning, I've learned many things about myself that shook me to my core. Helped me understand why I operate the way that I do. The reflection of my life, my habits, my mannerisms, etc. These things just didn't appear overnight. It takes time to develop. And on top of developing, it takes years to understand. From a school perspective, let's dive in. I'll post another video about my transcripts and class choices, but for now, let's stick to the big ones, projects and papers. What did it take? Effort, sure, but it also took time and supplies. Growing up, we can all relate to a time when we didn't have some or all of the resources needed to succeed. To see the spectacles that my peers would create in these science fairs or history fairs, the experiments, the research, the amount of time and effort from my own peers on these projects made me feel like I saw a giant bar and standard set. I'm looking at you, Cassia, Shayla, Jeremiah, Jonathan Legan. Private school competition culture magnified this and it didn't help much. Either I have sparkle, bubble lettering, and chronological photos of how an experiment played out, or I literally have nothing. Forget the symbolism. This is how I actually felt in these moments. And it didn't help when teachers said that these projects would be 30% of our final grade. So no pressure. But if I didn't stack up, the ridicule, the shame of inadequacy, not so much from the approach of having something to gain, but upon reflection in the mirror with the immediate understanding of having so much to lose. A great deal at such a young age was truly daunting. First, you had to have an original idea, but you had to have an attainable and unique idea. Outside of optics from adults, well, why don't you just? But grappling with these things as a youth who never entered a science fair space, especially in a small private school, this is not commonplace. These steps, if and when you do come up with an idea, functional experiments and papers. I saw my peers clearing off kitchen tables and experiments, dragging yarn and hanging creativity from the very ceilings of their homes, unencumbered, fully creative, fully assisted by their family. I was in the mindset of keeping these things clean, tidy, small. And I didn't want something to get in someone's way, otherwise it would be thrown away or accidentally destroyed. I've seen in movies and TV shows how parents would explain, well, how was I to know it was a science experiment? It looked like a pile of trash to me. All of my effort and stress would look like a pile of trash. Thanks for that. This is the razor and the tightrope that I walked as a young age. Ultimately, I knew that I could finish all my immediate homework and pass the upcoming tests and quizzes on the horizon, but I would always put off the big project out of fear. I didn't have sparkle letters. I didn't have someone to help me engage to build a stupid volcano. And when it all boils down to it, this is who would be supplying my help.
Shut up, shutting up. Shut up with the sass and the back talk. Shut up with answering something that wasn't asked. Shut up with answering a question that was never asked. Shut up.
That was my mom during one of our heated exchanges. This is not to garner sympathy. This is just who she was. All of my siblings could attest to this. And you had to choose your moments to pick your battles because it was definitely a delicate dance that would later become her ringtone. But back to the lecture at hand. All of these things in a project or paper felt out of reach, an impossible standard to measure up to. experiments, incremental photos of experiments, expert interviews with people in that field. This was a giant undertaking. Me babysitting, my dad working all the time, and my mom running around with errands and animals and whatever else. I couldn't control that stuff, so I can control what was in front of me. Homework, small test, quizzes on the horizon. I put off the huge assignments until a critical window came and the project was almost due. I've always had the fear of rejection. Logic dictated to me from prior experience that if I was rejected in the grocery store aisle for asking for a name brand cereal, what do you think a $50 to $75 Office Max run would be? Poster board, glue sticks, colored pencils, sharp lettering, unlimited ink, a printer, paper, prop design, and mock-ups. Yeah, simple. Are you fucking kidding me? Hell no. I wasn't taking that risk until it was absolutely necessary, so I always waited. And I waited until the window was almost closed. And I'd do the book work, and I'd research the type of experiments required for the project, and then I'd spring the last-minute ask, run into the store, because there was a project due in 2 days, or the next day. I welcomed the yelling and the chastisement, because at least it was progress and closer to the project being completed. What would they do? Say no? Finally, I'd slap together some small, easy, attainable project. I'd tighten the budget on the office supply run, and I'd make my small project look like a real contender. My bullshit meter thrived under pressure, and I was raised under this pressure. Whether it was paycheck to paycheck, and we just, quote, didn't have it, I'd find a way to make it work. Have no fear. Michael's here. Optics from the outside of teachers and peers appeared lazy, unmotivated procrastinator, living in the daily, stressed, tired, anxious. I honed these skills. I crafted my own image of getting more done with less. I would ultimately pass these projects, and sometimes I'd even surprise myself with how close I cut it. It turned into a skill that I don't procrastinate, as I know of how much I can get everything done in the time that I need to get it done. Out of intense focus, out of gripping with survival, I will succeed, and I always have. This is important because I don't feel like we take into account the pressure that these young people today might be feeling in their first time of these kinds of projects. They've never seen it done before, yet they are asked to present it. An invisible expectation for something they've never even tackled, yet we giggle at the projects and the grammar when they submit anything less than great. I know that I took it personal because the project was a reflection of me. This poster board was a reflection of me. My planning, my execution of an idea, but it was almost a reflection of me with the limited resources at my disposal. I knew the caliber and the expectation that was put on me and I put on myself. As the school year kicks off, help a young person be the resource you would have had. I'll see you on the next one.
I hit it.
Two. One. Go.
A bit of a fumble, a bit of a party.
Get in. Go cheesecake. This is fire. Fire.
You gotta set that
Good. Stop.
Gummies.
Yes, gummies.
Got it.
done.
Bears.
Bears. Oh, that's not bears.
I'm so sorry.
These things,
Cool.
strawberries, and
Hershey's shell. Good.
54, 24.
Under a minute. I'm so sorry about it. I'm sorry.
Round of applause.
I feel great.
Wait, throw up the sign.
Hey, bro, I like that though.